Mr. Knauf provided a written witness statement as Associated Newspapers appealed against the High Court's ruling over the publication of extracts from Meghan's handwritten letter to her father Thomas Markle SNR. 3 judges presided over the hearings between November 9 and November 11 and have now retired to consider their judgment on the appeal against Lord Justice Warby's previous ruling. In his statement unveiled on Wednesday, Mr. Knauf presented email and text exchanges with the Duchess of Sussex dating back to 2018 and claimed Meghan wrote her letter to Mr. Markle in August 2018 with the understanding that it could be leaked. In her written evidence to the court, Meghan denied she thought it likely that her father would leak the letter, but merely recognized that this was a possibility. Referring to the authors of the biography on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Finding Freedom, Mr. Knauf also said Harry and Meghan authorized specific cooperation in writing in December 2018. Mr. Knauf said, the book was discussed directly with the Duchess multiple times in person and over email. He also said she provided helpful written background reminders and briefing notes for when you sit down with authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durant. In her own statement heard by the court, Meghan apologized saying she had not remembered these exchanges. She added, I had absolutely no wish or intention to mislead the defendant or the court. On Thursday, after more documents were released, it emerged Associated Newspapers was contacted by a confidential source close to Mr. Knauf after the February ruling by Lord Justice Warby in Meghan's favor. Prior to the judgment, Mr. Knauf's legal team had told Associated Newspapers his position was strictly neutral and he did not want to be involved in the litigation. However, Keith Matheson, a solicitor for the British publisher, said that following the ruling the source told Associated Newspapers in July Mr. Knauf now regretted not providing a witness statement to us. The solicitor said, it did indeed turn out that, since the summary judgment had deprived Mr. Knauf of the opportunity to provide evidence at a trial, he now wished to provide a witness statement to the parties so that his evidence could be considered as part of the appeal. Mr. Matheson also said, Mr. Knauf was plainly a central figure in the events he describes. He was a senior and trusted member of the royal household staff and he continues to occupy an important position as CEO of the Royal Foundation. His witness statement is measured in tone and he has been careful not to include evidence of matters beyond his own personal knowledge. Given the high-profile nature of this litigation and the likelihood of his evidence, if admitted, being widely reported, as well as the position he holds, it is hardly conceivable that he would say anything he did not believe to be true and I know of nothing in his evidence which is subject to any reasonable challenge. Mr. Knauf joined Kensington Palace as Communications Secretary to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry in 2015. He became also Meghan's aide after she officially joined the royal family and remained in this role until 2019. In March 2019, Mr. Knauf led a review of the Royal Foundation's role and structure before becoming CEO in September of that year. He will stand down as CEO of the foundation at the end of December 2021. Meghan sued in October 2019 Associated Newspapers, the publisher of the Mail on Sunday, Daily Mail and Mail Online, over the publication of 5 articles in February 2019 including extracts of her private letter to her estranged father. She claimed these stories misused her private information, infringed her copyright and breached the Data Protection Act. The High Court ruled in her favor with a summary judgment, which meant no trial was held, said the publication of the extracts of this letter was manifestly excessive and hence unlawful. Giving a ruling in February, the judge said the majority of the content published was about Meghan's behavior, her feelings of anguish about her father's behavior, as she saw it, and the resulting rift between them. He added, these are inherently private and personal matters. Appealing to this ruling, Associated Newspapers is arguing the privacy, copyright and data protection case involving the letter from Meghan to her father should be sent to trial. Justin Rushbrook QC, who represents Meghan, spoke against it, saying, to permit the defense to go to trial would have only facilitated further invasions of the claimant's privacy, all flowing from its publication of a private and deeply personal letter, whilst giving the defendant the opportunity to profit handsomely from the media circus that would inevitably result.